Hey y'all, my name's Ned. This is my dog Jai, and today we're going to continue building our Power BI finance budget forecasting process for a fake construction company. Now, there are two earlier videos in this series. I'll link them both down in the video description, so if you want to watch those, you can. But today we're going to start building out the data model, which is really pretty exciting. But first, before we do that, if you are not subscribed and if you have not liked this video, please do it. It really helps the channel grow and it helps this video get more visibility, which is great. My current goal for the channel is to hit 5,000 subscribers. And so you hitting the subscribe button and hitting that like means a lot. All right, so let's jump in and let's start building out this data model. So here we are in Microsoft Fabric. Now I have created a new workspace here in my Microsoft Fabric trial. And because this is going to eventually work with translytical task flows and user data functions, which is what's going to enable the write back functionality of this dashboard, I am actually going to create a data warehouse. So I'm going to click this new item button, and then I am going to search for a warehouse. Now, I am actually not going to use a Microsoft SQL database for this because the Microsoft SQL database mirrors itself back into a warehouse, and sometimes that mirroring breaks. So, even though a lot of the demos that were initially shown with translytical task flows are using a SQL database, I'm going to use a warehouse. I want to use a warehouse because I don't want that mirroring and I want to create a semantic model using Direct Lake. So, jumping back in, let's name our warehouse construction data when we will not have any spaces in this. And we'll hit create. Now, once we are in here, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create the tables for our data model. Now, if you had watched the video from yesterday, you would have seen us do some of this data modeling and then also this initial mockup. So I already know what tables we need to create here. We need to create a department, a budget, a calendar, and an account table. So let's get started executing in those table create statements in our new warehouse. So jumping back into our warehouse, we're then going to click this T-SQL button. We're going to copy in some SQL that I've already written off to the side, and then we're going to hit this run statement. And this is going to go through and this is going to create all of our objects. So now when we go into our schemas, into our DBO schema, here are all of our tables. So all of these are looking good, which means now that we've executed our DDL statements in Microsoft Fabric, it's now time to insert data. Now, data into the main fact table is going to be populated in by our translytical function. So we don't need to create any fake data to populate that. However, I do have those 3-dimension tables that we need to populate. So we've got our accounts table, our department table, and then finally our period table. So we got to populate all that data. Let's jump back in and let's quickly do that, probably with the help of some kind of AI. So quickly, here we are inserting data into our department table. So let's execute this. Then let's go ahead and let's put in our account metadata. So let's run that. Then finally, let's go ahead and let's insert some data into our fiscal year table. So here we are. This is running. And just like that, we now have some data populated in our tables. We have our tables created. The only table we don't have data in is our main core fact table, but we'll populate that with translytical functions. So it's now time to build our direct lake semantic model. Now, when you are in a Fabric warehouse, they're going to have a default semantic model. I always like to create a new semantic model that is new per project. And so like that allows you to have multiple tables and things like that in here that are not quite relevant. So I'm pulling in accounts, department, fact budget, and fiscal calendar. And I'm going to title this my financial forecasting data model. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit confirm. Then if we go into that data model, we are now ready to start building. So we need to first create relationships and we need to do a few kind of nice to have things. So first of all, we need to go through and we need to get all of our numbers, and we need to say, do not summarize for any of these. So that way it'll stop treating our primary keys like numbers that it thinks it can sum. So quickly doing this, which through the power of movie magic you didn't have to watch, it is then time for us to go through and just really quickly edit all these names so they have spaces in them and they're a lot more English for friendly, I should say. Now you can edit the name right here by just right clicking and then going rename. So I'm just going to go through these and I'm just going to make them nice and easy to consume. Now that we have that done, which you should be lucky here, happy I didn't make you watch, it's now time to hide the IDs. So I'm just going to click right here and hide all these IDs. So boom, 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 boom. And I just noticed I put the space in the wrong spot there. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. But there we are. We now have the IDs. So now we're going to go department name, right? And we're going to have department ID to department ID. And we're going to make it one to many, right? Because department filters down here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit save. Well, then we're going to do the exact same thing for the period ID right here. So again, and we're going to go one to many. We'll hit save right there. And then finally, the last thing for the account ID. And we're going to again go one to many. So we now have our semantic model. It's now time to create a measure table. We can do that up here by clicking this new table button, which will then allow us to go ahead and to put in a DAX calculated table. Now, there's more and more people who are saying, hey, you shouldn't put your measures in a specific measure table. I am still of the mindset you should. So I always call mine KPIs. And I'll go ahead and hit save. And there is our calculated table. And then I will again hide this, but I will also go through, hit our advanced, and just say, do not summarize. So this now will be our calculated table. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in a placeholder measure. That's just an empty string. And we'll just go ahead and save that. So here we are. We have our data model. It is ready to go for the next stage. So in the next video, we're going to be actually writing the first translytical function, which will add data into our fact table in our data warehouse. So if you want to watch that video, please subscribe, like this one, and just let me know if you're enjoying this series or not. I really hope you are. So with that, I hope you have a good evening. Bye.